Dark Knights of Steel, the story that has given us medieval versions of DC characters, is speeding towards its conclusion and dropping massive twists along the way. You definitely do not want to miss this. What's up, my comic comrades? We are finally getting a chance to dive back into one of our favorite titles coming out each month, and that is Dark Knights of Steel by the amazing Tom Taylor. To be specific, we're going to pick up where we left off with issue 9 and bring you all current through issue 11. And this is a 12-issue limited series, so we'll be right back here with a separate episode to cover the finale in issue 12 when it drops. But let me just say, some crazy stuff happens in these 3 issues leading up to the finale, like some big reveals. So if you're not caught up with the series, we covered all the previous issues right here. But as promised, we are crazy excited to be launching our new merch shelf and store with this episode. Just check out all this glorious new gear from Variant Labs, which is the official name of our merch department and brand. Now, any and all of you can properly rep the Variant Nation by rocking some of our dope new Variant gear. Our first line includes Variant themed shirts, like the one I'm wearing right now, as well as hats, hoodies, sweats, beanies, backpacks, and a ton more. All available right now on our store at variantcomics.com. We have a ton more items coming soon, and we'll even be doing limited run gear as well, so be on the lookout for that. But check out all of our first run Variant gear and grab your favorite shirt, hat, hoodie, etc. Or make it a dope combo. The designs are sweet and each item purchase helps support the show so we can continue to bring you guys bigger and better content. Okay, with that dope announcement, let's get into Dark Knights of Steel. Issue 9 starts off in Amazonia as we see Clark imprisoned by the Amazons, but Cassandra Cain breaks him out. Once free, she says, "I work for Batman." He replies, "You're a Robin?" She says, "I am. But I spent long enough with the Amazons to know they want peace just as you do. Stop this war, Prince Kal-El. Take the power of truth with you," as she hands him Wonder Woman's lasso of truth as he flies off. We are then taken back to where the last issue left off, and that is with Lara, Superman's mother, having just killed Wonder Woman's mom as the Amazons in Queen Pierce's army watch in horror and shock, leading to the start of the battle known as the Battle of Regret. Meanwhile, as Clark has almost made his way there, he sees his mother in the sky and calls to her, but she just punches him, sending him flying into the middle of the battle. As Clark stands up, he sees Wonder Woman sobbing, enraged over her mother's death. As he says, "Diana, I don't know what happened here, but please listen to me." Of course, she ignores him and punches him, sending him flying while saying, "Amazons, attack." Amanda Waller sees this and, being the general of the L's army, says, "Our prince is down. Soldiers of the L Kingdom, onto the field." As the battle ensues, we see the Green Man, aka the Joker Green Lantern, speaking to his ring, who says, "Kill them." So he starts attacking from above. As the battle rages on, Batman eventually arrives on a massive dragon and jumps off the dragon, landing right next to Clark, with Clark saying, "It's good to see you." But Bruce just points his sword to his face, saying, "You tried to kill me, brother." With Clark answering, "What, brother? What are you talking about?" What he's talking about is, in issue 5 of this series, Clark tried to kill him by stabbing him in the stomach with a piece of kryptonite, because as we found out in the series, Bruce is the half-brother of Clark, sharing the same father, meaning he's half Kryptonian. Meanwhile, Lois tells Constantine, "Look around, nothing makes sense. The Green Man turning on us, the L Princes at odds. You have manipulated others for years. Surely you recognize when it's happening to you." He replies, "Yeah, I definitely feel I'm being conned, and I don't like it one bit. The L Queen murdering Hippolyta makes no sense. Why would Lara do this?" As we see Lara go down to the L dungeons, killing all the metas in prison. But luckily, Green Arrow and Canary are able to escape with her Canary Cry before she kills them. But as Oliver and Canary escape, Lara comes after Canary, saying, "You have too much power to live." But she's blasted out of the sky with heat vision by none other than Lara, telling us she's not the real Lara. The real Lara asks, "What are you?" As the caption says, "They will look like us, but they are not like us. They are demons." Green Arrow then shoots the Lara that tried to kill him with the fire arrow, revealing it's a white Martian, as it flies off and gets away. Clark then asks, "What was that?" Alfred says, "I'm so sorry, I didn't know they were here." Batman says, "Alfred, what are you talking about?" Alfred then says, "You know I am the last survivor of a war, Bruce. That war was not on this Earth," revealing that Alfred is actually this world's Martian Manhunter as the issue ends. So 2 crazy reveals in this issue. 1, the reason Lara killed Hippolyta is because she was actually a white Martian disguised as Lara. And 2, Alfred is the damn Martian Manhunter of this world. Don't worry, they elaborate more in the next issue, so let's jump into issue 10. The issue starts off with us seeing the 3 murdered monarchs, King L, King Pierce, and Queen Hippolyta. As captions say, all of us realized at the same time that we had been deceived, that we had waged war for all the wrong reasons. And all the anger was channeled, focused on one man. As Wonder Woman points a sword at Martian Manhunter, with him saying, "I didn't know. I promise." As Bruce steps between Wonder Woman and Alfred, saying, "Hold, hold, please. Wonder Woman asks, you would defend a monster, Prince Wayne? He answers, not everyone different is a monster. She screams, move, as Beast Boy in the massive dragon form says, hey angry Amazon lady, the Batman asks you to hold. Clark then gives back Wonder Woman her lasso of truth, which remember Cassandra gave to him in the last issue. She then wraps it around Martian Manhunter's hands while asking, creature, do you mean us any harm? Because as we all know, no one could lie when bound by the lasso of truth. Martian Manhunter replies, I mean no ill will to the Amazons, to the Kingdom of Storms, or any citizen of this world. Kal-El, I swear, I am loyal to you, your sister, and your mother. I cannot love Bruce more were he my own son. Constantine jumps in saying, that's pretty definitive. I suggest we all take a breath and reassess the situation. As Wonder Woman says, you suggest, Constantine? Look where your suggestions have led us. Look what your damn prophecy has done, as we get a wide shot of the kingdom and all of its fallen. Captions from Constantine then say, there was no use arguing, because the new Queen of the Amazons was correct. I couldn't escape that I was the catalyst for all of this, as Queen Pierce sees that Constantine has somehow brought her son Jacob back to life, which he did by making a deal with Ra's al Ghul back in issue 6. Realizing they all have been manipulated into war with each other by these white Martians, Hippolyta says, my queens, we clearly have much to discuss and more to mend. But let us first attend to our wounded and our fallen. Your soldiers will be welcomed in our city. They will be fed and sheltered, to the dismay of General Waller. Hippolyta then says to Queen Pierce and Queen Wonder Woman, I invite you to discuss the true enemies in our midst. Martian Manhunter is then brought in front of the three queens while bounded by the lasso of truth, at which point Poison Ivy comes in saying, I understand the planet is in danger. Then basically says she wants to help in the war against the white Martians. Ivy asks Martian Manhunter, tell us where you're from. Tell us everything we need to know. As he tells us his origin, learning he comes from a beautiful world made up of white and green Martians. But there was one white Martian named Protex. He did not believe in harmony. He truly believes the green ones were inferior, and in a telepathic society, a thought could travel faster than sense. As the white Martians enslaved the green ones, the green Martians weren't as strong as the white, but they were more intelligent and great thinkers. So they devised fire-based weapons and destroyed most of the white Martians, and unfortunately, their home world as well. Several of the green Martians were then forced to live underground, but Protex and a few white Martians that were left disguised themselves as green Martians, killing Martian Manhunter's son. At which point Martian Manhunter tells the queens, I buried my son in the dust of our former paradise. I abandoned our once lush world, now turned into a red desert, and I came here. The Waynes knew what I was, but the king and queen asked me to keep it a secret. Wonder Woman asks, why? Queen Pierce says, because there was a prophecy about aliens taking over our world that included reference to a green man, which Martian Manhunter then confirms. He continues to say, the war was devastating. I suggest fewer than 20 remain, but Protex was one of them. He will be behind this. He will want your world, and to enslave your people as he tried with ours. Queen Pierce says, he tried to engineer a war to remove any with the power to stop him. He tried to wipe out the Kryptonians, the Amazons, and the Weather Wielders. And he almost succeeded. As Queen, Laura says, the invaders wanted to divide us through deception and death. But if we can forgive the actions born of misunderstanding and grief, then Protex will have done the opposite. Our kingdoms could be united as never before. Wonder Woman replies, I know who is responsible for our pain. I know who has earned my fury, and I will find Protex wherever he hides. Meanwhile, we see Joker Green Lantern speaking to his ring on top of a tree saying, what now? The ring replies, now the age will still end. A new one will still be born, but you need not worry about what is to come. You will have no role in it. The Joker then asks, I don't understand. What are you saying? The ring replies, we can't allow so much power to be held by a man who believes inanimate objects speak to him. As a white Martian comes out of nowhere, ripping his arm off and taking his ring, letting him fall to his demise. He then watches saying, you were a tool for a time of subterfuge, Luthor. That time is past, as Protex puts on the Green Lantern ring. And with that, the issue ends. This is crazy though. The whole time since the beginning of this series, many of us assumed this was the Joker with a Green Lantern ring. I mean, even the cover of this issue, issue 10, Batman is opposite of a very clear looking Joker with a Green Lantern ring. But we now find out it's Luthor with a Green Lantern ring, not the Joker at all. That's misdirection if I've ever seen one. And the white Martians were using him as a misdirect for the prophecy of the Green Man. This reveal really took me by surprise. Crazy, but we're not done yet. We still have one more issue to talk about. Issue 11, we see Constantine, Lois Lane, and Harley Quinn bring their minds together to devise a plan to stop the white Martians. Elsewhere, we see Clark and Bruce on top of their castle, with Clark saying, you're my brother? And Bruce replies, yes. Your father, our father, told me before he died. I'm sorry, Cal, but Clark just walks over to him saying, oh, come here. I will come to terms with the full ramifications of all this in time, but I've always thought of you as a brother, Bruce. A frustrating know-it-all little brother. I cannot be happier that it is true. Cal says, this explains everything you were able to do and why the Banshee didn't kill you. Bruce replies, yes. Cal asks, do you have heat vision? Bruce tells him yes. yes. Cal then asks, can you fly? Bruce responds, I'm not sure, I haven't tried. At which point Cal says to him, we're definitely going to have to throw you off some high things and work on that. Cal asks, but if you're part Kryptonian, how did that shapeshifter stab you? How did they pierce your skin? Bruce explains that him and Alfred saw a falling star, so they tracked it together. And at the site, they found a green crystal, which saps the strength from Kryptonians, making us mere mortals. It can kill us. And Cal, an entire meteor of it fell from the sky, as we see the shapeshifters, or the White Martians, mining this meteor with their heat vision and turning it into weapons for them to kill the Kryptonians. We then see Protex hold a kryptonite sword, telling his soldiers, John Jones is here. He will tell them our secrets, our weaknesses. He must be silenced. So Protex goes to do exactly that, phasing through the wall where the Queens are still keeping Martian Manhunter bound by the lasso of truth. Protex tells John, we have had fun here. We have terrorized. We have been voices in the dark and phantoms. We have appeared as monsters and myth. We have been legends. But you, this whole time, you've just been one of them. I can't imagine such a thing. John replies, imagination was never your strong suit, Protex. Protex then goes in to kill him with his lantern ring, but Cal and Bruce show up as Bruce chases him away with his heat vision, sending him fleeing with burns. John then tells Bruce he will return. They all will. You need to set up defenses. At which point, we see them make fire pits, massive fire pits, all around the kingdom with Poison Ivy giving them her fallen from the forest to keep the inferno going. After this, Bruce says, I've spoken to the Queen, we're removing your bonds. John apologizes, saying, I'm sorry, Bruce, for my deception, for who I am. I do not expect your forgiveness, nor would I ask it from you. Bruce replies, you could read minds. Read mine. Right now. John says, I don't need to. I know how much hate you will have for me. Bruce says, do it. And when he does, he realizes that Bruce very much still loves him. With Bruce understanding why he had to keep a secret from him, Bruce even tells John, from the moment my parents died, you have stood beside me. I would not be who I am without you. I may not have known who you were, but you know I am grateful and I love you. Elsewhere, Lara releases all the metahumans who are imprisoned without committing a crime. General Waller doesn't agree with this, saying, you're releasing direct threats while 2 enemy armies camp freely in our city. Lara replies, they are not enemy armies. Waller says, they attacked our kingdom. Do you know how many of my soldiers, how many of our people are buried? Slain by the people you want us to ally ourselves with. Harley Quinn speaks up saying, would you prefer to continue the war with the Amazons and the Kingdom of Storms? What then? What does winning look like, Waller? Is it their destruction? Long story short, Queen Lara's decision is final, which pisses off Waller as she walks away. After this, Lara brings Supergirl and Kal-El to the ship they arrived in from Krypton, telling them this crystal right here simply holds plans. Our plan is to build something, as we see her forge a doorway to an unbreakable prison. As she says, with this, we can send them to the Phantom Zone. That's right, she just built a Phantom Zone projector, and now they're just gonna have to find the White Martians to use it on them and send them to the Phantom Zone. Elsewhere at the White Martians hideout, we see Amanda Waller arrive with Deadshot telling the Martians, you endangered my people. A White Martian comes out saying, little meat sack, you dare speak to your superiors in such a way? She replies, be careful, your entire species is almost extinct. You shouldn't throw your life away by laying a hand on me. There really aren't enough of you left. This angers him, saying, you think you can threaten? And as he gets closer to her, he bursts into flames with Waller saying, I did warn you. Protex says, stop this. She says, impossible. The spell of protection has been triggered. I made a deal with a demon. Hellfire cannot be extinguished. As the White Martian disintegrates, she says, do not cross me. You and I had an agreement and a plan, Protex. I will create another opening for you. We will succeed, but only if you follow my instructions from now on, as the issue ends. Guys, how crazy is this? Amanda Waller has been in cahoots with the White Martians this whole time, which is why she was mad at the Queen for releasing the metahumans and wanting peace, because Waller is trying to create war alongside the White Martians. All 3 of these issues dropped massive bombs and had big reveals. In issue 1, Alfred was revealed to be the Martian Manhunter, aka John Jones. In issue 2, the Joker Green Lantern was revealed to actually be Lex Luthor. And in the last issue, we find out that Amanda Waller has secretly been working with the White Martians this whole time. I cannot wait to see how the finale comes to a close with issue 12, but do not worry, we'll be right here to tell you. Anyway, what do you guys think of this series? Are you digging it? Let us know in the comments below. Also, be sure to grab some new variant merch and rep the nation out in the wild. Other than that, we'll see you next time when I talk about all things comics.